Last lambing season was chaos. So this time around, this year, we're going to do something completely different. Last lambing season was way too spread out for us. We had pretty much a span of lambs being born starting in October all the way until the end of April. And that's quite a spread, quite a span to be having to be sure to be on edge, watching ewes, making sure first time ewes aren't having no problems. So this time we're going to be changing it up a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to run a group of ewes with a small group of ewes with a ram in 3 different pastures. 3 different rams, 3 different pastures. We're going to see how that goes for us this time. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take smaller groups. We're going to have our ram put in with these groups for a very brief, short time period. Basically 1 heat cycle worth. So we're looking at heat cycle being 17 days. We're going to be leaving these rams with each group for right at about 20 days. What we have, this is our first group. This is Troubadour. This is the High-J ram that we bought last year. He's with this small group of ewes, about 5 in this pasture with him starting out. So we've decided to use Troubadour on the group of girls that we've paired him with because he's going to bring a little bit more muscling to that gene pool, to those bloodlines, and he's going to help straighten out a little bit of some conformation issues that we've been seeing with them. In this pen, we've decided to use this ram to help bring a little bit more height to the structure of the lambs that these ewes have been throwing, and he's got a really good disposition as well, so hopefully we're going to see that pass along to his lambs. This one is Booty Snapper. We call him Booty for short. He's one of our oldest lambs. He's going to be in a little bit bigger group. He's going to be with this group of mamas that they've had babies that haven't quite been weaned yet. And with Dolores, of course. We're going to see what the cross with the white Dorper and the wool sheep makes with Dolores. Science experiment, don't ask. This is Booty's group of women. All these little lambs here aren't quite a month old, not old enough to wean yet, but usually a ewe can start cycling back as soon as 45 days after they've had a baby. So we're going to give him a try with these. He can cover more lambs, or more ewes rather, because he is older, more mature, seasoned ram. This is our third pasture, third group of ewes that we've put with our third ram.
You know what's coming up, right?
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready
Boom. He is rather large. And we're going to use this ram in this pasture with his girls that we're pairing him with to bring overall size and straighten out some conformation. This is a very large ram, and we're extremely excited to see what his lambs are going to show.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the give me that last.
This ram is our AI ram from East Star Livestock's line out of Bing Bong. We're quite happy, very proud of this ram. This is his first breeding season. We've got him a smaller group of ewes that he's running with. They're gonna be in here for about 20 days or so, and then we're gonna be swapping them out for another group. So you might ask why we are separating these groups out like we are. Really, there's a few reasons. One, it gives us a tighter lambing group. We can watch the ewes that we know that have been with the ram exactly for the time window that we know they've been exposed, so we know when to expect them to be lambing. Next, it basically tightens up our management. So what I mean by that is when it comes time to wean, we've got tighter weaning groups. We can do vaccinations. We can plan basically when we are getting them ready for show. We can have them in tighter show classes, better able to manage them from that regards. And lastly, just overall easier monitoring. It's easier to pay attention to these smaller groups to know if the ram is covering these groups. You know, you could get a marking harness. You could put your rams in with the ewes with a marking harness, where basically every time they mount a ewe, it leaves a mark across their back. That's an option. With 3 rams, 3 different groups, we're going to try it this way this time. So with this plan, we are basically hoping to achieve a more uniform lambing season, a easier to manage herd, and hopefully we can get a little bit more diversity with our genetics by using 3 different rams. Last year we used 2 rams. We used 1 ram primarily for the first month and a half, and then we used a cleanup round afterwards. This time, these groups are going to be with the same ram. We're just going to add more ewes, so that way our window is basically a little tighter, and we're going to swap ewes out, leave the same ram in the pasture, swap these ewes out, and we're going to actually be able to expect when these lambs will be dropping. At the end of it, at the end of the time frame that we're leaving the ewes in, that's when we're going to use a cleanup ram. So we're actually going to do that, probably use troubadours or cleanup ram. We'll just kind of see. We'll see what they can cover and what they achieve.
See who does the axle work.
Doing a good job, ladies. He said, "Come here, girl." So one of the other reasons, main reason for the way she's separating these sheep out, she's going to be trying to get the breed classes when she goes to show where these lambs are being born so that they are born early into the breed class. That way that's not the smallest animal in the class. These classes are usually spaced out over about a 2-month, 3-month time frame. And if you have a lamb that's born at the back end of that time frame, it's obviously going to be smaller than the lambs that are born at the front end. So by tightening this group, by putting the ram in with the ewes for a shorter amount of time, she's going to have a higher number of lambs that are going to be born towards the beginning of each show class. So with this new system, we're going to see what comes of it. This is basically a big science experiment altogether. Let me know down in the comments, would y'all run, if y'all had multiple rams, would you run a drawn out lambing season and just use cleanup rams? Or would you try tightening your lambing groups and knowing more when to expect lambs to be born? Would you use a small group for each ram, play around with your genetics a little bit? Or tell me what y'all do. Drop a comment down below. So I appreciate y'all watching again. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna put a link up there in the corner, and if you have not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and like the video. It definitely helps to grow our channel. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.